the capability and the experience is so relevant. It's not about what you've done 20 years ago. It doesn't really matter in digital. It's what you've done in the last 20 days.
So I guess when graduates come to us, our typical starting salaries are up to £22,000 with us. But I guess the main thing that we try and focus on is the opportunities for progression in our industry. It's one of the fastest growing industries in the world is digital marketing and digital media. So within a few short years, you're looking at up to 30, up to 40, depending on how fast you progress. We were just discussing around how there's the opportunity. It's not necessarily about years earned, it's about the experience and the skill set that you have. And it's not necessarily around, you need 2 years experience, you need 3 years experience. If you've demonstrated the skills and the competencies that you need for the role, then you're perfectly placed to step up into more senior roles in the business very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more with that. I think also digital's growing very quickly. There was, significant acceleration through COVID where the reliance on digital kicked on a bit. As a business and employer, we've paid out bonus 3 years in a row as a private business, which, very proud of. That's, it's on top of salary. If the company can perform and you can perform at an individual level, then there's more money on offer also. And just picking up on Emily's point, I think whenever I talk to students, and we do talk to them quite a bit about this thing, I think there's something in digital that is quite hard to pick up on. And I compare, a career in digital and business and management, but particularly digital, with the likes of accountancy, with the likes of medicine, with the likes of teaching. Those industries are fantastic and extremely valid, but there is a slow, methodical progression to the director level positions. It's very rare you would find a teacher with 1 or 2 years experience becoming the head teacher.
Yeah.
Very, very, rare and unlikely actually. Whereas in digital, within 1 to 3 years, many of my peers, many of Emily's peers are at that level, and actually it's so fast. And, the capability and the experience is so relevant. It's not about what you've done 20 years ago. It doesn't really matter in digital. It's what you've done in the last 20 days. And therefore, a lot of our peers are young people with not necessarily as much experience as you would have to go through in other verticals and other categories. And you find that people who are in their 20s very often decide they want to go and set up their own agency, want to go freelance, want to be able to offer their services with greater flexibility. And I think that, it's absolutely fantastic and a testament to our industry that they can do that. And it also means employers like Summit, we have to respond to that. If we don't respond to that, then there'll be a talent drain away from us into the freelance, into the working for themselves, into these new cutting edge agencies. Hence why we've had to bring in things like, actually compressed working hours. So you can work 10 days over 9 and take every second Friday off. That's, the very nature of digital being at the forefront of, of working practices and how we go to work and that hybrid working, home office, working across international territories. There is no better or leading industry, that digital is completely at the front of that.
And I really get a sense this generation are much more interested in finding a career that they're passionate about, that they will bounce out of bed for, but also has that right balance between work and life. So, finding companies and opportunities where you can get that balance, where you can have the fourth Friday off and
second Friday off.
Oh, sorry, second Friday off. Sorry.
Give them the fourth Friday off. They'd revolt. They'd be muted.
So they've got the money to go down to the pub. And so I think that's increasingly important. I don't know how you guys feel. Is it that balance important?
I think these days a lot of people, maybe our age, care more about working conditions and mental health and things like that. Me personally, if it was between a job that was slightly less money but had a lot more other benefits like that, it would definitely be something that I would consider, because working for a company that you feel cares about about you more than just here's your paycheck at the end of the month. It makes you want to work harder. It makes you want to develop yourself in the company. It makes you want to kind of rise up the ranks, as you could say. So I think it definitely is, for me at least, quite an important thing to see if a company cares.
Yeah, no,
like that.
I definitely agree when you say it's about what they have to provide for you, because sometimes it's not really about the money. Like you can have a job that pays you like 50K a year, but then there's no supporting environment, there's no support from the team leaders or no support from the managing area. So it kind of makes you just want to like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave. Yeah, there's a 50K money, but I'd rather be stable. I'd rather, have a personal care before I leave, like get that money. So for me personally, I agree with what you say as well. Is like, I'd rather have an environment that's supportive, that really cares about my growth. And then that's where the money comes in. Because sometimes you can be working and enjoying it. You don't even care how much you're earning. You don't even care if you're earning 19 or 18K a year. It's about, oh yeah, I feel needed. I feel important. There's this support here. So for me personally, when I'm applying for a job, this is what I look for. I don't really read the job description. I look at people, employees, and see what they have to say. Organization to.
I think going into industry, a lot of people recognise that us as young people are the voice of the future and we're the sort of enablers going forward. So it's all about us and it's about our new ways that we see the world and our opinions, particularly with topics such as sustainability, which is of such importance now. It's such a huge area, and big companies, small companies, entrepreneurs want to hear from young people and see our take on things.
I think that's, just to touch on something you said there as well, that's something that we look at when we bring in our kind of next group of execs, well, what our most junior role in the business is we're looking at that group of people thinking they're our leaders in 2 years' time, because this, especially our industry, moves so quickly. We're looking for, right, who are the people that are going to be leading this account? Where do we see them progressing to? And it's conversations that we need to have all the time to make sure that we've always got the right skill sets coming through. So even if you are joining, in the most junior role in the business, 9 times out of 10, you're probably looking at 2-3 years, and you're going to have your own team, and you're going to be managing your own clients and managing your own area. So I think that is something that's really important to us, and something that we talk a lot about at Summit is progression. Something that we even talk about at interview stage, and when we're doing events with the university, is this is the map of all our roles that we have, and this is where you start, and this is where you could end up in a few years' time. So I think that's something that's really important to us as well, in terms of making sure students know that when they leave and when they come to places like Summit, yep, you're starting here, but look at this wealth of opportunity that's waiting for you in in 2 years' time.
I was talking to one of the graduates from the business school yesterday, literally yesterday, and she helps manage some of our accounts on a car hire firm. And I was, broadly just, how's it going? And you're settling in well. And she said, it's amazing. I cannot believe you've let me have my own market to manage already. So she's managing the Spanish market for a top 5 car hire firm on her own. And I said, do you speak Spanish? She said, no. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. But she was so happy. Said, I cannot believe I've got the opportunity to manage this market. This is an incredible amount of money that she's spending in advertising on for an amazing brand with loads of potential customers, very hotly contested and competed in that space. And she was just so happy. And actually, I was like, well, that is exactly the response we want. Not, oh my goodness, I can't do this, or I'm not ready. It's I can do this, and I will do this, and I'm going to show you in 3 months that, the performance and the accounts, they're going to get better. Every day I come in, I'm going to make it better than it was yesterday. And that's, it's really motivating and exciting for that to happen.